Hey guys, Spike from Wavescape here with a surf report from the 25th of April until next week. So we're looking at some carnage around the ocean. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things of interest really. There's the 50-year storm hitting the Rip Curl Pro Brood. It's going to cause like epic waves. The Rip Curl company was founded 50 years ago, so not really a coincidence that they're calling it a 50-year storm, because storms happen every year. In fact, they happen every couple of days sometimes in winter. Anyway, there's also a cyclone south of India which is not going to affect us. There's a cyclone that's smashing into Northern Mozambique that is going to affect those people quite dramatically. There's also a cut-off low still lurking off the east coast but starting to slowly move away from the coast after causing absolute havoc with brown water gushing out of rivers all down the coast from KZN right down into the wild coast. Debris, sewage, carcasses and muddy water 17 k's out to sea. Then there's also quite a large storm that's southwest of Cape Town, and that's going to bring some interesting swell for the weekend. Then there's another storm on the way, but more about that later. Let's look at the Rip Curl Pro first. So this is a big storm, yes, and there's lots of waves being generated, yes, and the winds are quite strong in the center of the storm, yes. It goes up to 60 knots odd, and there are proper waves on the way. If you're looking at core swell, you're looking at a 13-meter swell at 17 seconds, and already today, Thursday, if we're looking at the Bells area, there's a 3.7 meter swell open coast at 15 seconds, and Bells is already going to be firing, and that gets even bigger tomorrow, Friday. 7.2 meters, proper waves, also proper winds really. Thursday there are gale force gusts, and then into Friday pumping winds, but then it starts to abate. Cooking surf, even though it's strong winds, but Bells is quite protected from the winds, and then more strong winds on Saturday. Calling it like the 50-year storm, it's just like Hollywood, man. Alright, and then we go outwards and onwards. Let's have a look at the cyclone that hits Mozambique. That sadly is going to cause a little bit of carnage. Very strong winds of 70 odd knots. It was stronger as it approached, 998, 995 millibars, and then it starts to occlude. In other words, it starts to break up as the heat engine gets broken by the land's atmospheric pressures and temperatures. Pemba is going to be quite badly affected. It doesn't look like it's going to be as bad as the other one. And then we're going to look at the east coast. So the other evening in Durban, a light southwest and rain started to just go absolutely nuclear, as Mike Frew said to me from Durban, with gale force southeast winds to 40 knots and rampaging rain deluges that just dumped about 300 millimeters of rain in an 8-hour period. And that rain spread south. It also went inland, so the rivers all along that coast are just gushing muck into the sea. And so sadly, surfing's not going to be too much of an option for quite some time. Then we're going to look at this storm here in the south, 967 millibars, peak winds there of 60 knots. And then if you look at Friday, 1.8 meters at 12 seconds, 2.2 meters at 12 seconds, by midnight 3 meters at 15 seconds, and then by early Saturday it's stable, and it's basically the main brunt of the swell, and it's running at 3 meters at 14 seconds, plenty of waves. That swell's also spreading up the coast, and there are places, especially in the southern Cape, that should have waves if predicted easterlies don't blow too strong. But it looks like a good weekend for Cape Town with southeast winds on Saturday and cooking surf, and then Sunday you're looking at glassy conditions. Nice surf if quite a lot smaller. I think it's about 2 meters or so, 2.2 meters, 2.4 meters at 12 seconds, so probably 4 to 5 feet. Just a quick look at this other storm. There's another one coming up behind this one, and by Sunday it's really in the zone. There's 2 areas of fetch, one to the north, so that's going to produce a very westerly component of swell. There's plenty of fetch, duration, distance and velocity to create quite a nice west swell for the west coast of South Africa. And then there's another component of the storm that goes down to 965 millibars with 45 knot gusts around the western quadrant of that storm. And then by Sunday evening, there's those 2 wind areas that fetch has merged, and it's consolidated into quite a lacum nugget of wind, and we're looking at proper waves arriving sometime next week. Suffice to say that come Tuesday, that swell is almost arriving at Cape Town. Tuesday night, we're going to start seeing the swell arriving, and then on Wednesday, we're going to see proper waves, 3.5 meters at 15 seconds, and that's going to move up the coast. But there's going to be periods of really nice cooking surf, good winds, nice westerly winds, as you can see, all the way along the southern Cape coast. and hopefully by then the east coast the water is starting to clear. But anyway, that's it. I've been waffling on for way too long, so shot guys, have a good one. Cheers.